Hello, friends. We're starting our new journey with Sicis. And this time, we'll travel around Italy together, taking a look at Italian projects realized with this wonderful manufacturer, best known to us, first and foremost, for their mosaics. Well, as you can imagine, we're starting in an absolutely picturesque place. This is the famous Lake Como, which is in the Prealps, not far from Milan. And not so long ago, Villa Roccabruno was renovated here. And now it's the Mandarin Oriental Hotel. In 2021 and 2023, a wellness zone project was implemented here, and Sicis played an active role in bringing this project to life. The architects decided to decorate the walls and ceiling with special discs that create a perforated effect. These discs were made from Sicis' innovative material called vetrite, and here, several thousand of them were installed. Each disc has a diameter of 7 centimeters. A special pattern was created, and the skilled Sicis craftsmen installed this ornament on the walls and ceiling of the spa. Mosaic was also used in the Turkish bath, and in the pools, the famous signature Sicis Multi was also used. By the way, Ersoka Domron designed not only the interior spa area, but also the outdoor pool. And this pool is truly remarkable and extraordinary because it's actually an infinity pool that is uniquely set on a floating pontoon, positioned right on the shimmering surface of the beautiful Lake Como. So guests are quite literally immersed in the crystal clear waters of the lake itself, and you can't see the edge of the pool at all, but at the same time, the gentle waves coming from the lake. The passing boats don't disturb the guests at all. And in general, I have to say, I always really like this contrast between modernity and classicism, and the design of this spa center is very modern, yet it harmonizes perfectly with the classic style. And now, let's move to Milan for half a kilometer of luxury. That is, to the most luxurious street, where the boutiques of Milan's most expensive brands are located. This is via Monte Napoleon, and here you'll also find a perfume shop called Dior. Some people pronounce it differently here, so you can choose for yourself. And the architect, for Marco Luca, chose a particular material for the design of this shop. Vitrit chose the Gem stool series, specifically the design called Reef. And in this way, he wanted to create the atmosphere of 1001 Nights. And here, you really do get both 1001 Nights and 1001 notes of various Oriental fragrances. The vitrit panels are backlit, forming an accent wall that greets you as you enter and continues onto the ceiling. Indeed, the result is a fabulously luxurious setting, perfectly matching the perfume offered in this boutique. As for Marco Luca, he's also known to us as the creator of the Sicis Lounge project at the 2019 exhibition. If you were there, you'll definitely remember. It was simply outstanding. And now, we're here. This is Torre Velasca. This is an icon of post-war modernism in Italy. The building, constructed between 1956 and 1958, was designed by the BBPR Collective, an architectural association. In the silhouette of this tower, we unmistakably recognize the image of Lombardist defensive towers. The lower floors are narrow, then come the pylons that support the expanding upper floors. As a result, the building takes on a shape somewhat reminiscent of a mushroom. Not so long ago, a renovation was carried out, and as a result of this renovation, the lobby through which you enter the residential apartments was also updated, and the company Sicis was also involved here. Firstly, there's the reception desk, which is finished, once again, with backlit vitrit, this time from the Onijam collection. This is, in fact, an interpretation of the onyx pattern design. Let me remind you that Sicis doesn't copy natural stones, they interpret them in their own way. And this is precisely an example of such an interpretation of a rather popular and striking semi-precious stone. The backlighting can be switched on or off, apparently depending on the time of day and the lighting outside. Sometimes, it does get cloudy in Milan after all. And the waiting area is furnished with a furniture and interior collection by Sicis. Here, first and foremost, we see a bean-shaped sofa from the Prestige collection. It is complemented by Nils swivel armchairs, which in this case are upholstered in leather. Next to Nils, there is a small peak-side table. On the other side, Nils's twin is accompanied by Torre. An ottoman from the Amaretta collection, as well as a floor lamp from the Drop collection, are also from Sicis. In the center, a coffee table has been placed. Mars is a very striking piece, combining completely different materials. Here, there is vitrite, and this vitrite is bent to a special radius, which is precisely one of the properties of this material. That is, you can bend it, not you personally, but at the factory, according to your design, to your specified radius, any part can be bent. The wooden part of the tabletop is supported by a twisted glass rod, and the metallic details also add a touch of sophistication. The whole composition is accentuated by a carpet, also from the Moon collection by Sicis. In this case, it's the green moon, and serving as the backdrop is the super impressive emerald mirror, meaning emerald. Here we see the cut of a precious stone, which is also made from vitrite elements. In my opinion, these facets very successfully echo the facets of the building itself. And overall, this waiting area is entirely appropriate and emphasizes the grandeur of this building, which by now no one can possibly doubt. When traveling around Italy, it's impossible not to visit Venice. Venice itself is like a mosaic panel, pieced together from tiny houses and little neighborhoods, all marked out by a network of canals and narrow alleyways. Here, the company Sicis took part in the implementation of a very interesting project. It's a boutique hotel called XS, and in this 17th century villa, there are indeed only 15 rooms, but they are all richly and lavishly decorated. Here, the atmosphere of a Venetian merchant's villa has been recreated, with very vibrant color schemes used throughout the interiors. We see Venetian mirrors in gilded carved frames. Each of the 15 rooms is decorated in a completely individual style. The floors are laid with parquet. What interests us most are the bathrooms. Each one is also individually designed using Sicis material. In the room where I stayed, marble mosaic and marble tiles were used. Two shades of very typical Italian marble varieties, Bianca Pollina and Verde Alp. On the floor, we see a very elegant pattern, a combination of these two colors. And on the walls, 5x5 mosaic is used. It's worth noting here that, unlike many cheaper manufacturers of marble mosaic, Sicis calibrates theirs and makes it quite thin. Sicis also took part in the design of the public spaces, in particular, the breakfast room. For this space, they made tables in various shapes, with tabletops crafted from an innovative material called vitrite. This is a completely custom-made piece, which was designed and produced specifically for this project. And these tables are beautifully complemented by velvet chairs with a contrasting trim. Sicis takes a very flexible approach to implementing projects and meeting their clients' needs. This applies both to mosaics and other materials, and to the brand's interior collection. Rimini, a wonderful resort on Italy's Adriatic coast. A resort with vast, snow-white beaches, gentle waves, blue skies, and bright sunshine. A place that attracts holidaymakers from all over the world, not just from Italy, but from all across Europe and beyond. And here, a project was launched, a hotel project called Iuite. The architect for this project was Simone Mihilai, a rather well-known specialist who works in a kind of bionic style. And it's clear that here, Simone was inspired by the gentle ripples on the water, the rolling waves of the Adriatic Sea, and he brought these creative ideas to life in the hotel's beautiful interiors. We see these waves on the facade and inside in the lobby. Everything is fluid, smooth, everything's snow white. White, by the way, is Simone Michelli's favorite color, and he likes to add small, bright accents in chartreuse to this white. But for us, of course, the greatest interest here is the so-called water sculpture, an all-weather heated pool, which is located on the hotel grounds, which are outside. It's an absolutely unreal, bionic shape. You could say it's a pool from the Ice Age. The shapes are absolutely arbitrary, absolutely fantastical. It's almost impossible to imagine such things on your own. And of course, when it comes to cladding a pool of this shape, there's no material better than mosaic. Specifically mosaic now, because mosaics today have very small chips, just 1 by 1 centimeter. This allows for a very smooth, seamless cladding of such fantastical, curved shapes. And of course, from a practical point of view, smalt is the ideal material for outdoor use. Firstly, it isn't affected by temperature fluctuations. Secondly, it doesn't fade, and it has virtually no thermal expansion. This is important here because the sun really does shine quite brightly and the temperatures can get rather high. Exactly. Also, in winter the temperatures drop, and even within a single day the fluctuations can be quite significant. That's why these technical characteristics are undoubtedly very important. Smalt doesn't absorb anything, meaning it's absolutely non-hygroscopic. This is also important because there might be some colored drinks by the pool, including things like red wine. In any other case, this could spell some problems, but not with smalt and Sicis. And of course, it's important to note that in this case, the white color of the material makes for an excellent background, both in bright daylight, in the setting sun, and at night. With colored artificial lighting, this material looks completely different every time and always offers new visual experiences. Friends, I hope you're enjoying our journey, Sicis through Italy. At this point, unfortunately, we'll take a short break in our video review, but we've already managed to visit 3 regions of this wonderful country, and we've had the chance to see projects in which Sicis has been involved. You've probably noticed that Sicis is suitable for a variety of purposes. These include commercial projects, retail spaces, and hotels. And they can be in completely different styles. It could be a restored one, a villa, some kind of estate, something historical. It could also involve modern uses of materials and solutions. In many cases, modern design complements and creates a striking contrast for a historical property. So, with Sicis, you have no limits when it comes to bringing your ideas to life. That's all for now. See you in the next episode.